Hey, welcome to Dads and Daughters with my co-pilots Kelly and Jenna, episode number 10. We don't have Gizzy this week because Gizzy was being a little rambunctious last week, right, Kelly? So we had to give Gizzy a week off. So we want a cameo from Gizzy. Got to wait till next week's show. We have an amazing episode this week with three amazing guests. I want to have something new, which I call Heroes of the Week, and people doing amazing things, giving back to charities. And the first one I want to start with is Food Channel, Guy Fieri, who I met a couple years back. He has donated $21.5 million that he fundraised for unemployed restaurant workers around the country. Amazing guy. The chef is an amazing dude. Met him a couple years back, and he continually gives back to help others. Next one is a guy, fellow Brooklynite, called rap hip-hop icon Big Daddy Kane. Not the wrestler Kane. The girls know the wrestling guy Kane, but this is Big Daddy Kane. Real good guy. He was in Durham this past week giving out toys. Spent the whole day down here to homeless and other kids who needed, obviously, toys and gifts, and great guy as well. The third and last is a Yankee third baseman who's going to be the recipient of the Thurman Munson Award come this February for charitable giving. His name is Gio Urscheller, and I want to shout out to Raina Groen and Nick Singh for making this happen. But Gio actually was cool enough to do a video for my friend Frank Fetchit, who has a 9/11 organization called Voices of September 11th, and there was an ICAP Charity Day event to fundraise, and Gio was right there in New York City at the shoulder surgery and did this incredible video that he did. So we can play that.
And Gio Urscheller from New York Yankees, and I'm happy to be a part of ICAP Charity Day.
We are here supporting the Voices of September 11th, and we are wishing ICAP Charity Day an amazing, phenomenal day this year.
Gio, thank you for everything that you have done, for all the different charities that you have helped, and ICAP Charity Day is really happy that you are supporting us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime, that's the idea, help people.
Gio's my guy. And by the way, that was Raina Groen's voice in the background. So thank you, Ray, for all you do. Nick as well. That was awesome. And Gio, hope you get better back in spring training soon. So we got an amazing show. I want to get introduced to the show. I'm going to announce two of them at the same time because they both have incredible stories. We'll have them both on. The first one is Rachel Barcellona. And Rachel is a great autism advocate nationally. Model, author, singer, actress, pageant winner. She just signed with WSM Talent and Modeling. She's graduating next semester, double majoring in English and communications. She loves writing, and she's competing for Miss Florida America in March. And one of her biggest accomplishments is speaking at the UN. So let's cue in a video of Rachel and then have her join as well.
More often than not, we are painted a single image. My frustration level was very, very high. So everyone was focused on just the diagnosis, but no one cared about really helping me.
Rachel Barcellona says she always knew she was different.
What do you expect a child to think when they're different and they have their peers over there and they won't accept them for who they really are?
Rachel is advocating for people like herself.
And I'm working to help our society accept those with disabilities. I myself have autism.
She's a voice for those who can't speak on a wide spectrum.
It's part of my mission to show people that once you've met one person with autism, you've only met one.
Phenomenon.
It's part of me, it's who I am, and I fully acknowledge it. Even though people don't see it, it just is. My determination has led me to so many amazing opportunities.
Now she's hoping to open other people's eyes.
We're campaigning for the Autism Era Act, and that's something I would like to see change. I would like to see opportunities for everybody with autism.
From better treatment to housing and employment.
Doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Don't let labels define you because you're not a soup can.
You are amazing. Welcome to the show. You are amazing.
I'm just here laughing because I was doing an epilepsy test and they made me look like one of the cone heads from SNL.
Well, Rachel, I shared a story in last week's episode when Kelly went to this organization called Brain Balance. They wrapped her in some kind of tinfoil or something they did. I don't know what the hell kind of science experiment that was, but hey, Rachel, I want to introduce Daniel to the show. So Daniel, we call him DJ Svoboda. He's another amazing, he's an autistic artist, public speaker, and the creator of the Imagine Friends of Imagiville. He was diagnosed at the age of 3 with autism spectrum disorder. He had some speech delays and issues of fine motor skills, and he found it difficult to even hold a pencil, but he's come a long way. He's dynamic, a motivational public speaker like Rachel is, and he brings this Imagiville and Imagine Friends to life and uses that as a vehicle to spread with art, to spread the message of hope, inspiration, and awareness for autism advocates. So if we can get Daniel on as well, I want to get you guys on at the same time and then have Kelly start to ask some questions. Here he is. Hey, DJ.
Hello, Mike. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Rachel. So good to see you all.
Yes. So Kelly's got a couple of questions. I know you want to start off with Rachel and ask her a couple of questions about her. So let you take it away, Kelly.
Rachel, when you were diagnosed with autism at age 3, you later learned you had gluten and dairy allergies. How hard was that as a child?
Well, that's actually kind of weird because it was a temporary thing for me, luckily. But as a child, it was very, very hard for me knowing that I couldn't have chocolate, ice cream, or all the other things that the kids were having. It was, I mean, I don't know how to really describe it because so many people tell me, oh, wow, Rachel, do you know how many foods have gluten and dairy, the best kind? And kids can be mean. They would always taunt me with that. And I mean, I hated it. I would cry all the time. But as time went on, it was just a part of life. But I believe that for some people, when puberty hits, it just goes away because when I hit middle school, probably around 6th or 7th grade, all of it disappeared and magically I was able to have chocolate, and thank God, because you know, us girls, we go through some stuff, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you mentioned bullying too. I know Kelly had a question for DJ around bullying that he had growing up, and I know Kelly, that was one of your questions about the bullying that you were subjected to as a child and living with autism. So I think Kelly would ask how you dealt with that, and you too, Rachel, in terms of that topic. You know, we had Mallory's Army on a few weeks ago talking about bullying and suicide awareness. So just want to get your feeling, both of you, and Kelly wanted to ask that question. I needed it much. We'll start with Steve.
Yeah. We're going like me and then Sir.
Yeah, either one who wants to start off on the topic. I know that's just a tough topic with kids on the Asperger's, on the autism spectrum, is that going through bullying. I know that's a very tough thing.
Because I know that I went through a lot of bullying when I was a kid, and it got so much harder in middle school, because I think that it definitely gets harder in middle school because everybody wants to fit in. Kids don't really know any better, and I would know that because I worked in a children's museum for 3 years. I understood that with my own eyes, just seeing it, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that's why I was bullied, because everyone wants to fit in. But I saw more people with disabilities in my middle school, and I can't really fault people for that. Everybody wants to have friends, they want to fit in with their cliques. And nowadays, all the people that bully me, I get tons of messages. They're saying, "Oh, we were wrong. We didn't know what they were doing." And I mean, I appreciate that very much.
What do you think, DJ?
Oh, well, I'm very, very pleased to hear that, Rachel, because you are very amazing and very awesome. And what you said about bullying, I know exactly how that feels. In fact, there were times when I was bullied, called bad names, and even teased a lot too. Some very good friends of mine with autism went through the exact same thing. So deep down, just like you, Rachel, I am definitely fully devoted and dedicated to showing the world that everybody with autism and disabilities and special needs of all ages have an incredible and amazing and awesome place in this world. When I speak to lots of people, I like to remind them that this world and life do not have the final say. Even Dr. Seuss himself said, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?" It's like when I sometimes talk to children about Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Rudolph and Hermie were not really misfits. They were very unique and very different, and none of us were born or created to fit in. We are born and created to stand out, to be
Yes.
our amazing and awesome and incredible selves always. It's also this very important fact that if some people cannot like you or accept you for who you are, then it's their very own fault and their very own loss. You, Rachel, are very amazing. I've seen lots of pictures of you on Facebook, and you're really doing amazing, awesome, and spectacular above and beyond.
Oh, thank you. And that's really one of my favorite Christmas movies. I love to watch that. And bullying is why I started my platform, Ability Beyond Disability, because I saw so many people with disabilities in middle school. They were getting bullied, and I
Mm.
just wanted to take a stand. I wanted to stop it. But also, I've seen a lot of people with autism and other disabilities. They tell me that they weren't bullied in any level of school. And you know what? Good. I mean, I wish I was you. But everyone has a journey, and we need to just recognize it and love each other for who we are.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, acceptance is one of the Imagine Friends top lessons. We don't accept people for what they look like or by the color of their skin. It is a kind, caring heart and a loving, caring soul that matters the most.
Very impressive. Well, DJ, your art is amazing. And I think how you use art to express yourself, your imagination to spread autism awareness and acceptance, I think, is really a great thing. And I think, Kelly, you had a question about what Imagine Friends was. It has to reflect what you've observed or you've witnessed in your life, DJ. I know Imagine Friends is really an extension of yourself. And just talk a little bit about these characters you've created.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this may surprise all of you, but just like Pepsi Cola, the Imagine Friends were born here in North Carolina on October 19th, 2001, along with their very first website. I admit, I'm a Pepsi Cola fan.
Yeah.
But actually, the Imagine Friends were actually inspired by the challenges that I faced growing up with autism and disability, even based on the times when I was bullied and teased during those times. First, I enjoyed sketching and doodling just for fun in the beginning when I was in middle school, but then in 1997, deep down, I felt like that I had to get more serious with it. After seeing others with autism getting bullied and mistreated, I felt like enough is enough. So after a few years of practice and getting the hang of it, that was when the Imagine Friends were officially born, October 19th, 2001. They definitely live in a huge land called Imagiville, where everyone is loved and accepted for who they are, and there's always plenty of room in Imagiville for everybody. Some Imagine are based on a lot of things that young children love and enjoy, and some of them are based on very special lessons like kindness, determination, love, acceptance, determination, believe in your amazing and awesome self, dream big, believe big, expect big, never let quit or give up be an option. And in fact, the list goes on and on, actually. And I'm happy to say that on July 16th, 2011, that's when our mission and company with the Imagine Friends was established. It became 9 years old this year, and the Imagine Friends became 19. But they will always have the heart and the mind and the
Well, I think you and your friends need to be on Tyler Rachel's show that you do, Rachel, the Chapters Rap Youth Heroes, because DJ here is a youth hero, a role model. So I think that's going to be a future show coming up, hopefully next month in the new year. But hopefully once we get DJ back. But you are definitely, I'm sure, Rachel, you'd love to have DJ on the show and express his Imagine Friends and keep just amazing. And Rachel, I know Kelly wanted to ask a little bit about how you got involved in fashion and modeling. I mean, that's truly a role model right there. And I know we want to play a clip of something you did very special up in New York City, but we'll wait to just want to hear a little bit about how you got into fashion and modeling and won pageants and just amazing things. But what was your inspiration to get into that?
Oh, well, of course, I would love to have him on the show. He would be a wonderful guest because we're always looking for people who do positive things. And as for fashion and modeling, it's a really long story because I first got involved with pageants when I was 5 years old. Where I live, pageants are a very big deal because I'm in the South. Is Florida the South? Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. DJ will rejoin, but this is really. So I did pageants to help with my self-esteem and to come out of my shell because mostly boys are diagnosed with autism. And I just wanted to have friends that were girls, and pageants were a great option for me. I love being on stage, and I did pageants up until 4th grade until I focused on my studies because I mean, I just love school and studying, and it's really important to me. But through pageants, I also did modeling. I'm still signed with a few agents, and I do a lot of inclusive fashion shows in New York. I modeled with New York Fashion Week many times, and that's one of my favorite things to do. But it was all through pageants that I really discovered I love being on stage.
Wow, that's really great. So you've also had hey, DJ, you're back.
Oh,
Yay!
my apologies, but
No worries.
sometimes my internet goes off on me. I apologize.
No sweat.
No
But we did want to talk
problem.
about charities. You know, Rachel, you've also you're a board member for many charities, and Kelly and I have done a lot of charity work. I, of course, have done it for many years, and I think one of the things you're part of is the Ernie Els Autism Center of Excellence, and I met Ernie a number of years back, and I know you're a board member for him and his great organization, great golfer, and a dad like me, who's obviously had a child with autism, and Doug Flutie, the foundation for his foundation for autism. So I know that Kelly and I have met Doug a number of times through Tim Tebow. So it's cool that we have that inspiration to get back. And there's Kelly and Tim and just amazing
Aw.
connection they've got. And so over the years, the same with Doug Flutie, you know, it's just one of those connections with Doug. Been friends with him for many years, and his charity is just so inspiring. Here for me again, my boy. So the cool stuff you're doing, giving back at such a young age, which is incredible. Hopefully, you know, hopefully Kelly will continue in my footsteps and do more charity work than I do. But just want to give you kudos. But I did want to show a special clip of you, Rachel. You were at a special place called Madison Square Garden a couple of years ago singing the national anthem. So I want to hear that clip because your voice is beautiful.
Please welcome Miss Florida International, Rachel Barcellona.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the
Blew me away. That was cool. We got a applause there.
I still get
Rachel.
emotional while watching that because I was singing to honor all of the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting. And that was just a really emotional moment for me. And I like how the camera was going up because it's like everyone's watching from heaven.
I'm going to send that to Barbara Poma, who was actually the owner of that club in Orlando where that shooting happened. I know her very well, and I will text that to her later on, so she'll be pleased to hear that. That is amazing. So, Kelly, any final words for both these role models that you can? I mean, I know you're blown away by. It's incredible. So, what do you have to say, Kelly?
Thank you for spreading awareness and acceptance for people with autism like me and all of you, because I think the world needs to become more accepting of people with all abilities and not put labels on people, except for who their kindness and who they are inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you both are incredible role models again, and I think, you know, Rachel, the work you do with Chris, your friend, who just completed that Ironman triathlon of first Down syndrome. I mean, I love seeing the post there. He is incredible. What a special gentleman.
That
made
me feel so happy to see him complete that, and makes me believe in myself again with my own athletic goals.
That was amazing.
Yeah. We had a special surprise guest backstage. I want to give a little intro because he's a two-time Grammy winner for his trumpet playing, and he is actually the guy who themed my opening music for the show that we're using, and he was friends with the special guy we lost this year called Chadwick Boseman, who's also done a lot for special needs charities. I can tell you he was at a charity day event where I met him 9 years ago, before the Black Panther, when he was coming up as an actor. He's a protege of Denzel Washington, and there's a song Chadwick and Nabate and his co-writer just did a special show. So I want to bring him if he's backstage and just kind of share that experience. And here he is. Here's my boy, my brother from another mother. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm great. How are you, Michael? Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
We'll talk about your experience with Chadwick, and I want to tee up this great song and before we close the show. But talk about your experiences and what you want to draw, and obviously the fundraising piece of it as well, if you can.
Yes, I had the privilege. Chadwick Boseman and I have connections in Anderson, South Carolina. Our families, like my grandmother is born and raised in Anderson, South Carolina. My cousin knew Chadwick Boseman since he was a child and knows his family very well. So I spent a lot of time in Anderson when I was young. And then finally, Chadwick and I crossed paths at the Blue Note Jazz Club in October 2018. And we spoke about our connections and had a great conversation. But what was really special about this man was that he prided himself on playing strong African American roles. He was part of three great biopics, which featured Jackie Robinson, 42, Thurgood Marshall in the film Marshall, and also James Brown in the film Get On Up. And also, of course, what made him a megastar was the great success of Black Panther, which is the third greatest film, the third greatest grossing film in the history of films in America, Black Panther. So that made him a real superstar. But what's really great is that and what's really surreal is that his last role, which is in a film called Ma Rainey Black Bottom, which is debuting on Netflix this Friday, he plays a cornet player, trumpet player, as his last role. So, like myself and Niles, who's a great lyricist, and also we use Beth Griffith Manley, who's on The Voice, as our vocalists. We had to put our talents out for Chadwick, and it was so important. And the proceeds are going to the Chadwick Boseman Charitable Fund for the Arts as well, like portion of the proceeds. So it was important for us to be able to use our creativity and really honor a man that will forever leave an everlasting mark on our society.
Well, he truly donated to special needs charities silently. He didn't brag about it. Yeah. Because you're representing Chadwick. His legacy will never be, he'll always be remembered for the great actor he was, the great humanitarian he was. I want people to remember that. And obviously, we're both blessed to have met him. You knew him better than I did. But I think, obviously, through his connection with Denzel Washington, great, obviously, just some great people around him. But I heard the song. I want to play it before we close the show. But I do want to say to all the guests that are here tonight, you guys are doing incredible things to inspire, and obviously for a DJ, especially with your art and you're doing, and Nabate with your art for your music is incredible. And Rachel, your modeling, fashion, rocks, autism, which you've been a big part of, all the charity work you do. I don't know how you have time in the day to do all the things you do. You host a show every week, which I hope everybody tunes into the Chapters Rap You Heroes with Rachel and Tyler and DJ. You were going to be on it, my friend, next month. So we're going to have a lot of talk about your magic friends. And but I want to play the special tune before we go off the air tonight. That is really, really cool. So hopefully you guys can hear it. Hopefully the sound comes in.
This is my tribute to you. Throughout your life, you live the light of God glitzing through you. You are the pride and joy of South Carolina, and that commencement speech that she's spoken how it's due. Before we talk school books for eternity, I'm like in mind, you are the turning key. I'm a therapies and the surgery. She still became a universal legend. A supernova surgery energy you possess. The plain Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and James Brown, brother, you was blessed and king to dollars. Like Panther was our everything. You revolutionized with art and ways I've never seen. The iron Holly Stack was a role model, real life black superhero. I'm honored to have First name is you. Job well done. You completed what you came to do.
So I want to say everybody on the show tonight are all superheroes, and I just want to spread that message because I think the title of the song, definitely, right, DJ? Yes, thank you, DJ, for being on. And you are a superhero, Rachel. You are a superhero, and Nabate, you know you're a superhero, my friend. So thank you everybody for being on the show tonight and just carrying on that special messages you all have around acceptance, awareness, and just keep doing what you're doing, giving back, and special episode, and we're going to have another follow-up episode. I can't wait to see you, DJ, on the Rachel show next month. So keep doing.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, and about the great tune, and I play it in the car all the time. So keep it up and keep on the legacy. Keep on winning some more Grammy awards for us. All right.
Right. Thank you.
Remember, impossible and impossibility do not exist.
See you all next week, next Sunday.
All right.